What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video, and today we are talking the final race in the round of 12, the elimination race of the round of 12, the Charlotte Roval. So we've got another road course in the playoffs here. First one we had was in the round of 16. We had the Glen, which was a very interesting race. A lot of big playoff names, and just big driver names in general. Didn't have good runs, but I expect the Roval to be a little bit different. I know, this is the final race in an elimination round to get to the round of 8, but I still feel like we are not going to see what we saw with just so many good cars kind of get torn up, get beat up at the Glen. So I expect this to be a lot different. I expect strategy to be key, to be huge, and I am betting around strategy. That is an important note as we look, at the favorites and then kind of the bets that I'm leaning towards in this race. Talladega, real quick, not our best week. It happens. Super speedways are tough. That's why I always say you bet small to win big. Ricky Stenhouse, good win for him. Always kind of shows up on these super speedway races. So, Stenhouse is a guy that, if you targeted, and I'm sure you probably looked at him for something, whether that be a top 10, whether that be a huge dark horse hit, good for you. If not, no worries. We'll try to get him back this week in Charlotte for the Roval. Before finally we get into those bets, I just want to say the partnership with the NASCAR betting preview show. It's the podcast channel that this show is served on. So obviously, if you are watching via YouTube, thank you. I appreciate it. But also, go follow the podcast channel, the NASCAR Betting Preview Show podcast channel. Just search on the podcast app or Spotify, however you consume your podcast. Search NASCAR Betting Preview Show. Hit that follow button, and you can get plenty of great motorsports betting content to get you ready for the week that is the Charlotte Roval. And the live NASCAR Betting Preview Show goes live Wednesday nights on X. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time should be a good one this week as we talk road course racing in the final race of the round of 12. So we can now get into these bets and what I'm targeting. So I told you strategy is going to be huge. It's going to be key. If you want to win, you have to play the winning strategy here. You just have to. That's how a lot of these road course races have gone. Stage breaks, right? If you want to get points, and there's going to be guys that are going to want to get points. Joey Logano, 13 back. Suarez, 20 back. Cindric, Briscoe, 29 and 32 back. That's a lot of points to make up in one race. It's not unheard of, especially if some of these other guys have problems. It's definitely not unheard of. But I expect Briscoe and Cindric to be just playing that winning strategy. So they're two interesting guys to look at as well, going for that Hail Mary, if you will. But once again, Logano 13 back, Suarez 20 back, Cindric 29 back, Briscoe 32 back. And then you're kind of close guys to the cutoff line above. Chase Elliott at 13, Reddick at 14, and then Blaney and Bowman 25, 26. Probably feeling pretty good and comfortable. But still, you never know. You got to have a clean race here in plus 30 for Denny Hamlin. After that, you've got Bell at 57, you've got Larson at 52, and you've got Byron to advance. And the reason I kind of waited a little bit to put those guys in their own categories because I think those are three guys that you want to target to bet this week. William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson. I think they're going to play the point strategy in the first stage, and that'll be it. They should have enough points after that first stage to get there, to advance to the next round. And then sure enough, that's when they'll just go for the win. And if you look at this board, phone went off there, something. But anyway, if you look at this board, Bell 14 to 1, great value for a road course racer who's won at the Roval to actually advance his way to the round of eight. Very good road course racer. Christopher Bell at 14 to 1. Again, 57 points to the good. He just needs a good first stage and he will get through. And then you got Larson, 52. Same thing. Good first stage. He'll get through. Plus 750 is another. I think that's good value on Larson. It really is. And I know you say plus 750. Are you kidding me? That's good value on a guy that is going to be trying to win this race. I guarantee it. After that first stage, Larson is going for the win, as is Bell, and as is Byron, who is plus 850. So those three guys I think have a great shot. They're going to play the winning strategy when it counts and when it matters most. And to me, for the value that I see on the board, 750 for Larson, 850 for Byron, and 1400 for Bell. I love the value there. I think you have to look at those guys this weekend. Um, I also like SVG, and most times I don't like SVG at these road course races in the Cup Series. I've been right on SVG this year. I think, as good as he was at the Glen, and he had a legitimate shot to win that race, he was good at Chicago until he wrecked. Um, the other guys have kind of adapted now, and he can't catch them on that, scenario when it's raining, first time track. That's how he wins Chicago. Now, I like him here because he showed me something at the Glen that, hey, I can hang with the big boys. I can run up front. He lost that race on a last lap pass by Chris Buescher. Um, I like him here. I don't love the number 5 to 1 for SVG. I don't know what to do, to be honest with you. I don't know if you take this number now because it might get, lower, or if you wait and hopefully you can get it closer to 7 to 8 to 1. I don't know. I don't know what happens, to be quite honest with you. I think maybe a bad qualifying effort. Obviously, that'll slip that number, but I just don't see that happening. I think he's going to have a really good car. And then AJ Allmendinger, another guy who's going to be playing the right strategy, who I like at the Roval. I call the Xfinity race the AJ Allmendinger Invitational. I mean, he's won it pretty much I think every year actually that he's raced in it. He wins it. But 7 to 1, the number on AJ Allmendinger. I don't know. I don't really love that. To be honest, but I think Allmendinger is going to be good. Maybe you can look top five, top three, top Chevy for something like Allmendinger. Um, but still, 7 to 1, I'd like to see that closer to 10 to 13. I think when he won it here last year, he was like 16 to 1, something around that number. So, again, he's the second favorite here. And I think that's warranted. He's the defending winner last year. He had a great car. I believe he was the fastest car overall last year at the Roval. Let me fact check that quickly. Yes, he was. So 2023 Roval, he was the fastest car. Ty Gibbs was second. I'm not betting on Ty Gibbs because I have a future that just needs Ty Gibbs to win, and I'll win money that way. So I'm going to fade Ty Gibbs, but he's 12 to 1. I think he's going to have a good car. He's been good at the road courses. He's top five at in pretty much like every road course since 2023. It's quite incredible. Chicago 23, Watkins Glen, Roval last year, Coda this year, Chicago again this year. He was all top five in total speed. So really like Ty Gibbs, but again, I'm going to be fading Ty Gibbs just because if he wins, I'll still win something. So, like I said, the guys that I am watching this weekend are Byron, Bell, and Larson. Those are the three for money line bets. For a top 10, I'm going to look at Alex Bowman. The number's right around minus 160. I'm seeing it at minus 180. I think you can get it close to 140, depending on where you shop around. But Alex Bowman, top 10, this is the guy that has never finished outside of the top 10 at the Charlotte Roval in the next gen era. He is terrific here. Actually, it might be in his career, might be the stat. I know that he, in the next gen era, he has never finished outside of the top 10 at the Charlotte Roval. He is a super, super underrated road course racer. He really is. Let's see, eighth, 10th, eighth, second, fourth. Yeah, there you go. So he has never finished outside the top 10 at the Roval in his career. Really, really impressive stuff. from Alex Bowman since being in that Hendrick Motorsports car. So I like Bowman here. I know it's like minus money, but I think it's a safe bet to go with. He, for one, is going to be playing the point strategy, I would assume at plus 26. So that fits more in just like, okay, he's going to run a safe race. We'll run seventh, we'll run eighth, and we'll move on. So I think that top 10 bet plays nicely in to the hands of Alex Bowman. Um, as I just look down the line, at other guys that I feel like might be undervalued here. Tyler Reddick, 10 to 1. Reddick was not very good at the Glen. He hasn't really shown his true self, I feel like, this year at some of these road course races. Should have probably won Chicago if that race is a few laps longer. But at 10 to 1 to get Tyler Reddick, a Toyota at he's not gonna be playing the winning strategy most likely, but I feel like he's still going to have a super, super fast car. He is a very talented road course racer. So when you see a 10 to 1 number on Tyler Reddick to win at a road course, I think you attack that number. And then another guy, and I know that this is probably more of a top 5, top 10 bet. And let me try to get these on DraftKings because I've got Rhode Island Sportsbook up for my money line bets. Um, so give me one sec. But the bet will be Kyle Busch. It won't be to win because I quite frankly just don't think he's going to have the best car, but I think he's going to have a top 5 car. And therefore, I like Kyle Busch for a top 5 finish at plus 220 and Kyle Busch for a top 3 finish at plus 450. He's been very, very fast on the road courses this year, was the third fastest car here last year. So I like Bush in this spot. One of his better road courses. He's very good at Sonoma as well. But if you look overall, Kyle Busch it's always been pretty fast at the Charlotte Roval. No wins to show for it, but still usually brings a fast piece to the Roval. So I like that number as well. Again, I'm avoiding the money line, but I do like Kyle Busch for a top 3 and a top 5. Those are the guys I'm targeting at the moment. One more time, the top 3 for me are Byron, Bell, and Larson. Those are the 3 guys that I feel like have the best value and have the best chance to win based on strategy and performance. And then that top 10 bet is going to be Alex Bowman. Minus 150 is the number on DraftKings to get Bowman at, again, has never in his career finished outside the top 10 at the Charlotte Roval. Wouldn't it be just our luck if he finishes outside the top 10 when we bet on him here? But I think a lot of people are going to be on Bowman for a top 10. I like the number, so I think we take that there. So there you have it. Again, as we get closer to practice and post practice, post qualifying, all that stuff. Johnny on the Track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast on X for the full betting card that I will be rolling with. If I've got any bets for you besides that, it's AJ Allmendinger to win the Charlotte Roval in the Xfinity Series. I call it the AJ Allmendinger Invitational. I know he's got to compete with SVG, but he is just so darn good at the Roval in that Xfinity car. I'd be shocked if SVG gets the best of him. I know SVG has gotten the best of him at all the other road courses this year, but I think AJ's got one more in him in the Xfinity Series before he moves back to Cup next year. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe for more content. What else? Comment on who you guys are betting at and looking at this weekend. And like this video, it goes a long way for the channel. Appreciate you guys. And as always, let's win some money.